There we go. Like
Kenny, you look like crap.
I don't know how I look like crap, bro. It's probably because I switched the camera back to the old school camera. So this better when I get closer to the camera.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's because I'm back here, so it's like, damn, that boy dark. My boy dark as hell. And then I get closer, then it's like, all right, you don't look as that. Anyway.
Do the intro.
I know, I'm about to. Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, you got you guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. I am in the middle of trying to get my setup right. So, of course, we started late because your boy's on CPT time. I didn't set up my setup before. Yes, Kenny, he's always the black guy at the end and starting late. I know, I get it. Stereotypes, I just checked that off. Anyway, my guys, what's going on? How we doing?
Great.
Yeah.
I feel awesome. Oh, you don't even wait for me. You only care about Brian.
Because me and Brian are starting over again for our little bets. I know Ryan he's always he's the luck of the Irish, even though he's not Irish, right? He's like, oh yeah, I'm on my bet 4 or bet 3 or whatever. I'm trying to get it on. So he's on the road to 100K. We'll see. He's nutting up right now though. He's getting getting a little tight on bet 4. So he's like, I don't know if they do that. He's second guessing himself. We knew this would happen.
Is it bet 4? I thought it was bet 3.
I thought it was bet 4.
It's bet 3. It's only 3. I have to do a $500, $550 or
I thought
whatever.
This was the 550 one.
Yeah.
That's what this is. The
That's
first
bet
one's 50, 150, and then this is the 550. That's bet 3, right?
50 to 150, 150 to 3, 150 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. So he's on bet 3.
I probably, to be honest, I don't know if I'll do the whole 550, but I'll
scared chicken.
I'll probably do 450.
I was on bet.
I need money to make other bets,
and it killed me. LSU, thank you very much for that. We're just gonna start there.
Yeah,
we're gonna start there. LSU. There's no reason why LSU should have lost the game. I know people are gonna disagree, and I know people are gonna be like, Kenny.
Well, they didn't lose.
They didn't lose.
No. I'm talking about if they didn't cover, they lost the game to me. I don't really care. We're talking about betting. We're not talking about just regular sports. Regular sports, yes. If
they basically lost.
So to the point, right? For every person that said, "Hey, I had South Carolina," you were a dumbass because the stats show that they weren't even supposed to be in it. South Carolina offense primarily hasn't done good the previous 2 weeks, right? Also, on top of that, they struggled. I know they beat Kentucky, but Kentucky, they only played Georgia hard. That's the only team. So, they struggled the first week. I think they played some AA team, right? And then in that game, if you watch the LSU game, it shouldn't have been close. LSU had a turnovers on downs on the 4-yard line or the second 2-yard line. They fumbled that, messed that up. They had a punt block that got a touchdown score from that. They had an interception thrown in the red zone. They had a fumble snap there, and they managed to let the running back from South Carolina score a 75-yard touchdown win. Let's see. They had no throwing QB there. So there's multiple times LSU could have won. It's just look at a draw. I think this week I'm going to be a little bit better because I think I would say I let pride getting away a little bit on that. I just knew it was a smacker. Right. But when you look at the other picks for the day, I think it was other easier picks you could tell. The Buffalo pick was easy. The Oklahoma State was it was a little weird to me, but that was an easy bet. I think for me, if I lose, I want to lose to a good team. I don't want a shitty team. Like I'm putting my 4-leg or my 4th parlay on UMass. You know what I mean? And then they lose, and I'm like, damn, bro, UMass fucked it up for me. Like, duh, bro, you can put your confidence in them. But that's besides the point.
Anyway. That's where we won our first bet. What was it, Brian? It was Texas over
Texas over UTSA.
Yeah, it was Texas with the points, and then it was someone
5.5.
Yeah, Miami over Ball State.
Minus like
37
or something.
I thought it was 37.5 or something.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous, and they ended up winning like 63-3 or something.
Yeah,
62-0.
So I saw that the Tennessee. We're talking college football, so I know this kind of blending the bets, BK bets, and college football together. But college football as a whole, we have an interesting week this week. Tennessee has been looking good as hell. So we'll see how that plays out. I am not cautious, but I'm curious to see how they play versus a better talent. Nebraska plays on a Friday night game. I'll have something later for that. I'll let you
Oh, I
guys.
like that. I like that game too, Kenny.
Yeah, I got something later for that one. NC State they've been struggling, but their quarterback, McCall, if people are familiar from Coastal Carolina, he actually got hurt, and they put their backup in, and the backup actually brought them back to a win. So I'm curious on how that game will play out.
Before you move on to because you talked about Nebraska earlier. Can we talk about their quarterback?
What about him?
That's weird. Come on.
How he's emulating Patrick Mahomes. He's acting just like him.
He's got the haircut, the number. There's rumors on Reddit that he went to Nebraska. He transferred to Nebraska just because of the color scheme.
No. See, if people first of all, his dad is a legend in Nebraska, has one of the top players of Nebraska all the time. His uncle actually coaches at Nebraska. That's how they got him in first place, because he was going to go to Georgia originally because he was the number one quarterback.
All right, fine. That's just a joke.
So this is going to be my non-broadcaster comment. The dick eating that he is doing is unprecedented. I don't think I've seen somebody with his caliber that's the number one player at the position of quarterback dick eat as much as he is. Granted, I understand is Patrick Mahomes. He's going to go down as the GOAT. He's baby GOAT right now until he continues his longevity, but he's dick eating at an all-time high, like to the point where, yeah.
Does college have the headsets yet? Do they have the? It's next year. It's soon, right?
No, they do have it. They do have the play call.
The play call and the headsets now?
Oh, they do.
Does he do this? If he just starts doing this, we got problems.
If he does,
he starts.
If he does that, then it's going to be ugly. Anyway, let me get through some stuff real quick, because I know I take a long time all the time. Temple, I fucking hate y'all. Y'all ruined my parlay. I decided to play good last week versus Coastal Carolina. You got your ass handed to you versus Navy, which is so upsetting. Another good game, which I don't think is going to be good, but stay tuned. USC versus Michigan. That game is in the big house, so we'll see how that goes. Notre Dame handled business. Tennessee, like I said earlier, been kicking ass. What else I'm missing? Utah. Excuse me. The Utah versus Oklahoma State game should be good this week. Utah got a little run for their money a little bit for the first half versus Utah State. Oklahoma State really hasn't had any issues thus far. They played against an Arkansas team kind of very close because it was high scoring there. So we'll see how it goes. Utah having their first Big 12 game. We'll see how they respond back. I think Cam Rising will be in that game, so that'd be interesting there. Missouri is going to play against a Vanderbilt team who will be hungry for sure. Miami versus South Florida. I think that spread is a little close, but I get it. South Florida played, Alabama close, so they think Miami, South Florida. We'll see what happens from there. What other big games? Yeah, the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. I think it's going to be very interesting. They're playing in, Soonerville. So I don't know how that goes. I kind of underestimate Oklahoma a little bit, but we'll see.
What's the points on that game right now?
7. So we'll see what the model says on that.
I feel like Tennessee's gonna beat the brakes off them.
I would say that, but they're playing at home at Oklahoma. So
who did Oklahoma didn't they just almost lose to
Tulane?
Was it Tulane?
Yeah, they played Tulane last week, but they didn't almost lose to Tulane. They beat them 34-19. Houston played them hard, but I think it's because Houston pretty much slept on them. That's pretty much how I felt how that went. Florida State originally is ass. DJ Ugo, how you want to say it. I'm not even going to say his name proper anymore because he doesn't deserve it till he plays better. He's ass.
That guy needs to go play for Blue Mountain State. That's where
Blue Mountain State probably want to take him at this point just because I think he just completely lost his confidence. He's not the same player he was before. He doesn't even play with the ounce of that same confidence, and it's evident. Memphis pretty much came in there and had their way, and I don't know who's even more in a hot seat right now. If it's Mike Norvell, or if it's going to be what's his name down there in Florida? I forgot what's his last name. Billy Napier, right? Napier in Florida. If he's going to have a bigger, who has a harder task at hand, right? I think Norvell might get a pass only because of what they've been doing couple years he's been here. I think to Napier's point, him getting scraped by Texas A&M like that, and they haven't had any win this season. It kind of sucked his whole time being there. He probably going to be out the window.
You know what I think is the problem with FSU though is
What?
they invest too much into the transfer portal and they don't develop within
I don't agree
as
with
much
that.
as other teams. I think they go too heavy in the transfer portal.
They don't have a lot of transfers though. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't have a lot of transfers. The big transfer that they had was the running back, just because he had that whole Bismarck thing happen. So of course I'm going to take him because he's going to go to FAMU instead. He's right across the street. Why not take him right from Alabama? And then you had DJ. Other than that, they had a lot of guys on defense. I think the biggest issue is the guys not playing hard because of sense of entitlement. I think a lot of guys think, hey, last year we were good, we were supposed to get this, and nobody worked hard. I think it was this false sense of security, thinking, hey, we got DJ in here, we got a good quarterback, we should be good. We ran it easy last year, and to their surprise, it was not that case. So that's just my point on that. So, two, one more thing I would say for college football, a lot of changes is coming down the pipeline. The NCAA just passed. They just had this law that's passed for the NCAA that is going to allow the schools to start playing the players, and it's a pretty good deal, man. I'm not jealous, but I'm a little upset that my mom didn't push me out the womb later in life because the kids are going to get a good opportunity here, right? So you have schools, primarily the big schools, that's going to be able to put a portion of their revenue to pay the players. So it's up to 22 million, where I believe it's 10% of total revenue. That's for all sports. They also have negated the whole Title IX thing, where you have to have the even number of scholarships for males and females. Now you have up to 790 scholarships across the board for all sports at this school. So this is going to allow sports like baseball and other sports to now be able to offer full ride scholarships, which they couldn't before because they have to split, especially for the male sports. So depending on what that school is and the sports that they offer, they're going to be able to do more right there for other sports. Well, I think it's good. And then I think it's cool leaving it to the school to divvy up how they want to do it, because some schools don't have all sports. Like Temple, we don't have certain programs that we used to be for, like lacrosse or baseball. They kind of got rid of those because it wasn't bringing enough revenue and it was taken away from the scholarships. But now, those schools that you have 790, you can take on more sports, you can do more, you can offer more scholarships. So I think it's going to be good across the board. Paying the players is going to be crazy. You're going to see a NCAA football PL, and the same thing for other sports as well. That's going to come along. It's in the works right now with as far as unionizing. And Georgia just passed that they need to pay the players as employees as well. No, they won't. The schools will pay the sports that bring in money. What are you talking about?
I love that I throw the comment up there. And
I don't know.
A full stop just to understand.
The schools will pay the sports that bring in money. What are you talking about? I don't know what he's saying. Like,
explain yourself, Mitch.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. It literally says in there that they will be able to give up to 10% or to a total of 22 million of the total revenue. So it's on to the school how they're going to split it. But regardless, across the board, it's not going to. It's going to be a benefit for the players. And the same thing for the scholarships. So I know a lot of people that play baseball are happy about that. Play different sports that they're doing partial scholarships are happy about that. Some people some track teams have to split scholarships as well. So I think overall it's good for college. I think it's going to be a little interesting when they start to get to unionizing and things like that, because then it's kind of like it's not really amateur sports at that point, right? Because I think essentially if you have a union, then you can hold out and you can do all this stuff, and I think that's going to get really complicated. So that's all I kind of have. I know that was a lot, but I don't know if you guys have any comments on that, but that's what I got. Curious on Mitch's comment, what he's saying, because I don't know.
Can you not see the comments that he's putting right now?
Oh, I didn't put it up. They won't pay the players of sports that don't bring in money. Says who?
Says Mitch.
Yeah, I'm saying That's just like a opinion.
Can you guys give us your thoughts? I mean, you're bearing the lead. What about Arch Manning getting first time action this week? What's going on with Ewers? Is he going to be in this week?
No, he's not gonna be in this week. He's gonna be out this week. There's no pressure to come back. They play Louisiana Monroe, so it's no biggie there.
Arch will get a start, and if he balls out,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
gonna be hard for them not to go back, it's gonna be hard for them to go back to Ewers if Arch is playing well.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's not, bro. Arch he's played 2 subpar talent teams. It doesn't matter.
I believe this. I believe if he plays well, Ewers is coming back no matter what. Whenever he comes back. Now, if he comes back and he's not he's not performing well or he's rusty, I think his leash is a little shorter because you'll hear chants from the crowd and I think that's how that works. Because isn't that kind of what happened with who's the Alabama quarterback situation? Was it very similar with Tua?
No.
And Hurts.
Like Hurts got hurt and then Tua came in and then
Hurts didn't get hurt.
He played
like shit the first half, and Nick Saban said, "Shit, we got to win this national championship." So he set him and played Tua, and everybody's like, "What the hell is he doing?" And then they won it. So then everybody's like, "Oh shit, Tua looks pretty good." So now we have a quarterback controversy on our hand. Going to spring, they were trying to battle it out. Then Saban said, "Hey, Tua is going to start." Hurts at the background. They got to the SEC championship. Similar situation happened. Tua sucks. Hurts goes in and wins the game. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, this is crazy." It's like a Cinderella story here. And then Hurts says following year, "Hey, I'm gone," because he knew he still wasn't going to play over Tua. So he transferred. Yeah, and until your comment, Mitch, I get you saying about economics, things like that. But they're still going to play. They're still going to pay teams.
We'll
right?
get there, Logan. We'll get there, Logan.
We got places like especially the SEC schools, they're going to pay because they make money in all their sports, right? Yes, it's not going to be the same as they make for football, but they still make money. Baseball makes a lot of money. Softball makes money. Soccer makes money, right? So I'm not saying that they're going to pay them the same across the board, but all players for all sports will get some piece of the money for sure. Because it's not the NIL deals. This is just the school paying. Now the NIL deals is separately. Those NIL deals, that the $3 million deals, $4 million, that's going to go to the players as the top tier talent. I do agree to that. But yeah. What's up, Logan?
Where are we?
I'm done.
We got
bro.
other sports,
Let me
right?
continue on. I'll talk for 60 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll just do baseball real quick. We're about 10 games out for the playoffs. So I'll just go through wild card races real quick. You got Baltimore and Kansas City leading the way in the AL wild card, and I think that those two are pretty solidified. It's really going to come down to the Twins, and surprisingly, the Tigers have made a run as of late, and they're only 1 game back at the Twins for that third spot.
I like the Tigers.
Yeah, teams like the Rangers, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rays, they've all kind of fallen off. I would say that they're basically eliminated, even if they're not mathematically eliminated. And then Seattle has an outside chance. They're 2.5 back from that third spot. So I'll give them a chance for now, but I wouldn't hold my breath if I was a Seattle fan. And then the NL, the wild card race, you got San Diego leading the way. Then you got Arizona half a game ahead of the Mets. And then the Braves are 1.5 back of that third spot. And then next is the Cubs at 6.5 back. I think from there down, you basically can do the same thing, eliminate all those teams. The Cubs, the Cardinals, Giants, and Reds. They're not mathematically up, but they're too far back. You can't make up 6.5 games in 10 games unless the other teams shit the bed. It's just not going to happen. Most teams are playing mostly 500 ball right now, so what you see now is mostly what you're going to get. And yeah.
Did you talk about the Athletics? That's your team. That wasn't your bet that they wouldn't win 60 games?
I didn't bet that this year. I thought that they would hit, though. So I did say that would be a bet that you could take, but they have won 67 games.
Yeah, there's no team besides the White Sox I think the Rockies are close, but they probably will get it.
The Marlins.
59.
The Marlins.
Marlins are 56.
56. I didn't see that. Yeah. So Marlins 56.
Yeah.
That differential is crazy. Minus 203.
Yeah.
223 for the Rockies and minus 313 for the White Sox. Crazy thing is, White Sox has been fucking kicking ass the last couple of days, which is wild and pissing me off and messing up tickets.
Yeah, 4-6 in the last 10. That's pretty good for them.
He said last 2 days. Give him a break.
No. I mean, like, I wasn't being facetious. I meant that is good for them. If they win 40% of their games, like, I mean, what are they right now? They're overall trying to 23.5%.
Don't you listen? I'm sticking up for Kenny. So
you don't need to right now.
Side note, Mitch, to your point, the school or the students are not paying for it directly, but indirectly they are, because they're increasing. For Tennessee, for example, they're increasing the prices of all ticket sales across all sports. So, either alumni is going to pay it, fans going to pay it, or students. So,
has Temple come a knocking, Kenny?
For what?
Get them alumni.
Yeah,
$4
boosters. Come on now.
Yeah, they have come knocking, but guess what? I'm not giving a damn dollar to them motherfuckers. They won't get shit from me. I could be a billionaire. They won't get no money from me unless they put my name on a fucking stadium. Harper Field.
Ooh, Harper Field. I like
Harper
that.
Field. You know
Harper's Spin Zone. You're never living it down, buddy. Anyways.
Come on, man.
that weak ass shit.
Anyways, put something else on you guys' radar. We got hockey starting on October 4th. Yep. I believe it's opening day.
Yep.
And then a couple weeks later, NBA is going to be starting in at the very end of October. So we're going to have more sports coming your way. I know Kenny's been working a little bit on an algorithm for hockey. So we'll see how that shakes out.
I just finished the Patreon today.
All right. Yeah. We'll have more coming you guys' way.
Yeah.
But nothing really significant to report on hockey or basketball yet. I mean, their preseason for hockey, I think, starts this week.
Yeah.
Like on Sunday. So that's about it.
Hockey, I think, as far as, I know this is a side note, as far as the model stuff goes, I think hockey is another one of the baseball. A little smacker like that.
I feel like hockey, we're going to do really well with unders and overs. I have a very good feeling about that.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think that Thanksgiving is going to give a lot of giving.
Mm-hmm.
Singapore GP.
Singapore GP. What the hell is the Singapore GP? Oh, God.
Kenny, you just broke up. I don't know what you said.
I think you're talking about the Singapore Grand Prix.
Oh, the Grand Prix. Okay. I thought it was racing.
I think that's what he's talking about. Formula One.
Is that Formula One?
Formula One.
I don't even know that. I didn't even know.
We got nothing. Mitch, we'll dial you in. You could cover the F1 bases.
Yeah. I mean, I barely could do a little bit of NASCAR.
We'll do that. They turn left.
So Formula One guys in the back pocket that are good at that type of stuff. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Why can't I hear y'all?
Oh, for goodness.
Oh, jeez. Did you pull your headset out?
He spun his headset out.
Oh, okay, cool. I spun my headset off. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's what he hears. That's what he hears.
Yeah. I know, but if you guys listen, one second.
Go.
Hey, for everybody that's in the comments, right? That likes different sports. Tell us what you guys like. I feel like we're here to of course we shoot the shit and talk sports and stuff like that. But if y'all like other sports like that, let us know. Because they definitely have some. I know some people that are very good at those alternative sports.
Bag. We'll be talking about because people get in here. We'll be talking about equestrian rugby. Here we go. Look, rugby.
Listen, I'm not talking about for the podcast. I'm talking about for sports betting. That's what I'm talking about.
We'll bet rugby. I'll bet some rugby.
I saw the Australian on Saturday morning. I was like, damn, they get to it. That stadiums be packed. That shit like American football. Anyway, brought it back to
we
the
doing
Olympics.
American football, NFL.
Spring. Oh, Logan's just saying shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
All right, NFL week 2 in the books. We had so much happen. I don't know. I'm not going to list everything, but we'll go game by game. And then as I think of things, because there are some major injuries that suck
Tua.
that are happening right now. But we'll start with that game. Yeah.
Would you bet
Buffalo.
lacrosse, Jess?
Yeah.
She's bullshitting us.
You can bet lacrosse, Kenny.
I said would Jess bet lacrosse.
Oh.
No, maybe Pee Wee lacrosse. Come bet our daughter's like field hockey game and Ezra's soccer game.
I'm gonna start going to the games and
Bro.
start putting lines
Yeah. Casey be out there
Lines
like,
on the game.
I'll give you 2-1 on white.
on
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Plus
my bad.
100, Miss Garcia, 0.5 over goals.
Easy bet.
She scored last week. I was so proud of her.
Good shit.
All right, so Buffalo beats Miami 31-10. They didn't stand a chance. Buffalo literally took control of this game on the ground. Josh Allen literally had to do nothing. Before you blinked in the first quarter, James Cook had 3 touchdowns. It was sick. And Miami tried to come back. Devon Achane came in the game with an ankle injury, but he got like 30 carries, and they were like, we were just kidding about that ankle injury, apparently. But right towards the end of the game, Tua trying to get a first down on a 4th down play. Instead of sliding, he dives for the first down. Gets hit by who? Damar Hamlin, and he goes night-night.
It was Tua's head versus Damar's chest. They say the 2 most fragile things on the field.
Yo, you were so
Damar won.
crazy, dog.
I had
swear,
to say
bro.
it. I'm sorry.
You know what? He didn't even lay the hit. Tua laid the
No,
hit.
yeah.
Tua
Damar
leaned
just kinda
in.
stood
Damar
there.
just like received him. And you know what? It felt really sad because
Whoa.
like in the beginning of the warm-up game, it was like they were talking like Damar's starting this game. This is the first time he hasn't had any like PTSD symptoms. And then boom, another injury. Tua's career is almost over. like all right, so Tua, he goes full, what's it called? Rigmarole? Or I don't know, whatever it happens, his like brain shuts off. Yeah, his brain shuts off, his hands are messed up.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they call that fencing. When you like, no, I'm serious.
oh really?
That's what it's called. It's called fencing when you tense up and you put your arms straight out.
Yeah, well, he did that again. And immediately they pulled him. He walked off the sideline. He's currently on IR so that he can talk to some neurologists. He says he has no intentions of quitting football, but I assume his family is going to be pleading that he no longer plays.
He'll play again because I think he's a competitor.
Yeah,
he just wants to play. But somebody needs to put that man on the damn neck machine. You know, the one that you flex back and the one that you did side to side. You remember that?
He needs to wear every precautionary thing that's available.
Put the new thing on. What's that thing called? The Halo?
The Guardian cap. Put the Guardian cap on. Even if Kenny, people may be like, it doesn't do anything, but like, I don't care. Just
I never said a Guardian cap doesn't do nothing.
Show that you're trying. Well, I'm just.
What about that little like?
I just want to make sure. The Q collar. Wear the Q collar.
Is that what that's called?
That Q collar don't do shit, but whatever.
No, I'm not talking about like the big roll or anything. I'm talking about that
that thing that they be wearing. Talking about
it
helps with concussions, whatever, bro. You got to show me that's scientific.
You know what
I mean,
you know what the thought is on what? You know what the thought is on why the Q collar works? They say it like restricts the blood vessels that go to your brain to not let enough blood leave your body or your head, so that way there's more cushion or liquid up there. I'm just saying. That's why it's
even tight on you.
Because it just lays on the vein enough to not restrict the blood flow just a little bit. Like not completely, obviously, because you pass out, but like it restricts the blood flow enough that like keeps more blood volume in your head than outside of your head, allowing more squishness. I don't know. There's
Dr.
obviously
Ryan.
a reason. I'm just saying.
Nah, bro, some stuff is more mental than anything. I'm not saying that it's complete bullshit, but like,
Well, he needs to
okay.
wear everything.
Yeah.
Everything. All
No,
of it.
I think he needs to.
Chin
To
strap,
Brian's
tighten
point, he
that
needs
shit up.
to. No, first of all, he never wears the helmet properly, right? That's his first
Yeah.
mistake. He never wears the
Mhm.
helmet properly because even when that tackle, you can see he had a chin strap, the joint loose. So obviously he doesn't care about his helmet like he should. But that's my personal opinion. But to Brian's point, I think somebody talked about. I think Brian said somebody talked about Sidney Crosby having neck issues or something like that. You said that, Brian?
I don't know. When did
Oh,
I say
somebody was
that?
talking about. Well, I heard somebody talking about Sidney Crosby having neck issues, and they were saying that Tua needs to go to the same doctor that Sidney went because he was getting a lot of concussions as well, and they thought it was something to head trauma, but really it was in his neck that was allowing that shock to happen to give him them concussions. And once Sidney got that fixed in his neck, then it helped him limit concussions. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people get hit the ground hard like that, right? But for him to be getting concussions that severe is something that is triggered in his body that his brain is telling him, hey, when I get a concussion, it's to the extreme, right? Some people get a concussion, you get a headache, right? Some people get concussions. I had a teammate, he had a concussion and he would throw up. He couldn't get his motion sickness, stuff like that. And that's how severe
Have
it
you
was.
ever had a concussion, Kenny?
Not that's been accounted for. Not documented, right?
I've never been in protocol.
I think I've
mean,
had two concussions that I said. One time we played USF. I went to down block on this DN, picking him up, and he saw me last second and literally rocked me. But he was like 6'5", 280, 290, bro. And I kid you not, that shit fucked my neck up. I went to the sideline. Everything was bright. I was like, oh my God. It was like my senses was relieved. I'm like, oh shit. Like everything was bright. And I know that was probably
Ryan's
a concussion
definitely
for
had
sure.
him. Look at him.
Yeah, no,
he
I
looks
have.
like he's concussed right now.
No. Like I feel like you when I've gotten rocked before where like completely it's like the sound goes away.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so then you become disoriented a little bit and you're like, I don't know, just this empty look in your eyes, probably.
I was talking about it with a friend literally right before here because we talked about we played the same position. He played center his junior year or his senior year, my junior year, and then I played center my senior year, and it was the same player. And we talked about it. The nose guard that played for this other school, every time you snap the ball, he would just rock you in the head every time. And I remember like literally what Brian said, where like the sound goes out and it's like an explosion goes off, but like I couldn't hear the quarterback like count. I had to be like told like when to snap it.
I think the other time I got a concussion, I probably had 3 concussions actually as I'm thinking about it. One in high school, one in college, and one for my short stint. My one in high school, I got hit by this guy they called the Baker Man. He went to Georgia to play linebacker. I came across the middle and he completely fucked me up. Like I was parallel to the ground. My shoulder hit the ground before my legs did, dog. And I swear I could not feel anything. I like hobbled to the sideline and I was like, head was hurting. I felt sick. I was like, fuck. They're like, you okay, Kenny? I'm like, hell no, bro. I'm not going back in the game. I'm done. Like I couldn't even walk to the sideline, like where the box. I was just on the 20-yard line, just like hanging. Like, oh my God. So that, and then when I was we were in a joint practice, Ray Magaluga, do y'all know, you remember who that is? The LSU, the USC linebacker, bro. He fucked me up. He
was a big guy,
bro.
Like
same thing to what Ryan said. He like headbutted me on a pass block. So he headbutted me on a pass block, bro, and like literally hit me in the middle of my head, and my shit was like ringing. And then my chin, not my chin strap off, my helmet was all discontorted. And Vontaze Burfict like, fuck that up. Yeah, hell yeah. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I'm hurting. They're like, go again. Go again. I'm like, bro, I'm chilling. They're like, go again. Send his pussy ass up again. Go again. I'm like, oh. I went up again. He did the same thing. Boom. And I'm like, bro, I'm done. For the rest of the practice, my head was just hurting. So now I'm like, damn, that probably was a concussion too. But peer pressure's a motherfucker. Anyway. That's all I got.
Wow. Look at that. That's what you come for, guys. All right.
Oh, we start talking about concussions, and there's Simon. What's up, Simon? Speaking of too many concussions.
All right. Hey, the surprise of the
Side note.
week.
My bad.
Go
Side
ahead.
note. Do you
Go
guys
ahead.
think that you have any symptoms of CTE when it's all said and done?
No, I don't think I played enough.
Did you play since you were like younger?
I didn't start playing until I was in 7th grade.
Me too.
A little bit later.
Oh.
But I only played 1 year in college. So I like stopped. Like it was a short career. It's like 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
If you play linebacker,
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Listen.
didn't hit very hard.
Okay.
He's soft.
that's the same thing. Like Ryan telling me, "Hey, bro, I only played 3 years or whatever the case may be," and it's like, yeah, but you're on the line. You're banging every single play, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. And up in Maine, it was probably like a 75% run only.
Yeah, in Maine, y'all,
back then.
you guys are playing with ice helmets. Y'all pretty much sits frozen the whole time, so you ain't got no protection on your head.
I literally played 4 years of football. That's it, 9th grade to senior year. And like my fingers are never going to be the same. Like,
Oh yeah, your
just from
fingers
that,
are fucked. Your fingers are nasty, bro. My fingers is nasty too, though. Look at that.
Yeah. I saw one of yours the other day. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Damn, bro, shake my hand." Head ass. Anyway,
All right. The surprise game of the week. The Saints blow out the Dallas Cowboys 44-19. I think I read a stat. Derek Carr has scored on every single drive that he has possessed the ball.
trade him,
Well, in fantasy, he is the number 2 quarterback right now, currently.
which is
That
crazy.
will not stay.
That
What
will
if
not
it
hold
does
up.
though?
It won't.
You know, right now
know-
he's on the waiver. He's on a lot of people's waivers. Like,
Yeah.
nobody
Oh,
picked him up still because like, that's fake. I might
It
pick him up
is.
because
It's fake. It ain't
Bro,
gonna
he's-
last.
I don't know, bro. Raheem Shaheed, whatever how you were saying, he is fucking cooking. Right
Yeah,
now.
but you know how it is, Kenny. It's 2 weeks in, they've got some film now. They're gonna start slowing
Bro,
that shit down.
You remember what I was talking about? That there's nobody catching that youngin. He's running like he's going for the cops every play. They say, "Listen, bro, seam to the far side post every time. Go." And he's like, he's gone, bro. Like,
You know what's different though? Like Clint Kubiak, like is their offensive coordinator
Legit.
this year.
slide in the pocket.
Last year, the Saints were dead last in play action. This year, I'm pretty sure they're number 1 in play. Like, there's just like pre-snap motions become a thing for them. Like they're just doing a lot more with their offensive scheme. So, I mean, they were ungod. Like you couldn't watch them last year. Derek Carr was like, I would throw up every time you'd watch him play.
I
It was
still throw
terrible.
when I watch him play, but whatever.
Yeah, but now at least he's throwing it down the field. I'm
Same.
telling you that play, I swear, I think it's just on replay. They just replay it from different weeks. That Rashid Shaheed, like it doesn't matter. You can put 3 guys on him. He's running past them.
Sam Darnold's the same thing. Like, what
Yeah.
happened? What happened with Sam Darnold? Like, how the hell is he doing that?
I mean,
idea. Are you worried about Dallas? Are you worried about Dak Prescott?
no.
Neither.
Thank you. I'm not worried about Dallas. I'm not worried
overreact.
about
They always get their ass kicked at least once or twice a year. That's just
Yep.
like, what happened?
Yeah.
And then they come back and they start spazzing. Like, if I'm anything, I'm even more bullish on Dak. He probably has 3 touchdowns this week.
buy low guy candidate.
Yep.
If you like fantasy, but they need to figure out the running back position. They like, I know Zeke had a couple good carries, like Dallas. They need to figure out what they're doing with the running back position
I
because
think it's committee though.
Zeke had it's committee, but Zeke looks slow. Like he's great if you get within like the 15-yard line, then he could be your running back. But
He never was
between,
fast.
No.
I know,
He
but
was
he
only
looks
quick.
Yeah, that
He's-
I
He's
feel
still
like he's
quick,
lost
but
that quick.
he's J.K. Dobbins. Him and J.K. Dobbins are the same person.
That is your NFL leading rusher. Don't you dare say another thing. He's got a third of the carries, but he's leading the league in rushing.
Because nobody thinks that he's going to last. Everybody's like, oh, he's a Achilles tear and a knee pop away from one cut.
We'll
I like
get,
Rico
we'll get,
now.
I like Rico too. We'll get to the Chargers in a little bit, but let's talk about Tampa beating Detroit 20-16. I like Baker Mayfield. I think he's tough. He's a gamer, and
Perfect
they just
system.
win that. They just win games. And ever since they moved Chris Godwin back into the slot, he eats.
We talked about that last week. He's going
I
to
know.
cook.
Yeah.
That's where he's supposed to be at, right? But I think Baker Mayfield is finally on a team that there's no pressure on him, and it's like, bro, this is your team. Like gritty, like he's a gritty guy. He's been like that at Oklahoma. Like, so that's what you get here. And I think they just let him rock out.
Detroit needs to get Laporta back involved in the red zone. He's at least in the red zone area. He scored a lot of touchdowns from last year, and this year they're just not scheming anything for him in the red zone. But I think that'll correct itself throughout the season.
I think that was all tight ends, though, right? What offense really is utilizing their tight ends like that? You know,
the Las Vegas Raiders. But we'll get there whenever we get there.
Simon.
Nice, Simon. All right. Me and Kenny kind of called this one, but the Packers beat Indy 16-10.
Malik Willis.
Brian was a big. He was a little. He was convinced that the Colts got this game.
Easy,
but like we said, the Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I don't care if you don't like certain players he has. He's a good coach, and he was able to scheme a game. And
modern day Bill Belichick.
Whoa,
okay.
That's
no. I'm saying
praise.
from the sense of you don't need big names. He still can get it done. It doesn't matter who you give him. He's going to figure out a way to get it.
I mean, the Packers definitely took care of Richardson. They held him down. So
I mean,
he threw what 2 or 3 picks. I mean, it was atrocious.
Yeah.
Malik Willis didn't really go off. Like, it wasn't the Packers offense. It was because the Colts offense couldn't do anything.
He looked way better than he did in Tennessee.
Well, it wasn't really Malik.
That's a low bar.
Malik. It wasn't for real. It wasn't really Malik. But the Packers lead the league in rushing attempts. And you know who is last in the league in rushing attempts? The Las Vegas Raiders, where Josh Jacobs just came from. So, like, isn't that interesting? Kind of ironic. No, you don't care.
I don't think it's ironic because who does the Raiders have that totes the rock like that? Everybody's so big on White. Where is he at?
I'm just saying it's interesting, but look at Josh Jacobs go. They're running the ball really well. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And did you see their center throw up? The center threw up on the ball. Right before the snap, 2 plays he threw up on the ball,
Concussion?
and then one of them was, I don't know what happened, probably, but who knows? They threw up on the ball, and then he snapped it to Malik Willis, and he was supposed to throw it, but he just tucked it and run because mid play he like wiped his hand like on his back trying to get the throw up off. It was gross. It's pretty funny though.
Right now.
All right, Jets get their first win, 24-17 against Will Levis. Will Levis, he gets like concussed mid-play without getting hit and does some stupid shit, like backflip, trying to throw the ball back. His coach has literally called him out. I think week 1, he said, if we would have just punted on first down every time in the fourth quarter, we would have won that game.
It's true.
And then this last game, he said he was just talking about that bonehead interception or
the coach is saying this?
Yes, the head coach. So
if we just kept that motherfucker off the field, we would have won.
Will Levis is who we thought he was.
He needs to figure out what's going on.
I think he's not that bad, dog. I think he's Baker Mayfield, just a bigger version. Right? Like, I just think you just got to give him time to get acclimated. Like, Baker Mayfield was pretty bad in the Browns, right? Like, he had great plays, and it was like, what the hell is he doing?
Wasn't he offensive rookie of the year?
Baker Mayfield?
I'm pretty sure
I don't think so. His rookie year wasn't great.
I'll look that up.
His third year, that he led the Browns to a playoff berth. So
right before they had to try to give him an extension, and they denied it. And then he was
Dude, he was his first year. He threw for 3,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. That's pretty good for a rookie.
it's not bad.
okay.
Almost as good as Mac Jones' first year.
Look at both of them.
Mac Jones.
Damn Jaguars.
Let Lawrence get
I think Saquon won Rookie of the Year that year.
That makes sense.
Damn, so good. But Baker's pretty good. I'll take it. Anyways, Jets win. Sorry, we were talking about the Jets and Titans. Nothing special going on there. Braylon Allen, people are going to rush to pick him up. He's just a backup. He's the handcuff to Breece Hall. He caught like a touchdown pass, and then he also ran one in, so that was cool. San Francisco gets stunned by the Minnesota Vikings 23-17. Brock Purdy looked like he was a little exposed during this game. San Francisco actually looked like they were hurting because of a lot of injuries. They lost Debo for a couple weeks. I don't think he's on IR officially, but he's at least gone for a couple weeks with I think is it a chest or an ankle? I can't remember his injury.
It's an ankle, I believe. I'm not mistaken.
Kittle came out for the game for a little bit, but he went back in. It's fine.
He got carted off.
Yeah, and then it was dehydration. He needed an IV.
The theatrics.
Sam Darnold is doing Sam Darnold things. Threw a 97-yard bomb to Justin Jefferson in Debo's calf. Okay. 97-yard bomb in double coverage to Justin Jefferson. He's still the guy. But there's not much
of that.
Yeah. There's not much to say here. Minnesota, Brian Flores, me and Brian talked about it. He's a great defensive coordinator. He's going to scheme up a good defense. Minnesota's been playing great on defense to hold the San Francisco 49ers to 17 and the vaunted Giants offense to 6 points. That's pretty insane.
No, this is a very surprising outcome, honestly, because just by the way the 49ers looked in week 1 against a Jets defense that you thought was pretty good, and then the Vikings were like, hold my beer. They just shut them down. It was insane.
Great. Brian called this close game. I think the Patriots are going to be in a close game every week. Seattle and New England are in overtime. The Patriots lose 23-20.
I'll say this. The Patriots this week missed Bill Belichick. And the reason why is they fubbed the last 2 minutes of the first half, and they could have just ran the clock out, which is what Belichick would have done. And all the Patriots fans would be like, why didn't you go for it? Well, this is why. Because what they did is they left enough time on the clock for the Seahawks to go down and get a field goal before half. Might have been the difference of the game.
Yep. Stupid nerds.
Yep.
Anyway. Well, Bill, we'll talk about that in a minute. Bill Belichick was vindicated on the Peyton Manning show later that week.
Oh, the Manning cast?
Yeah, the Manning cast. I think or was it? Yeah, that Monday night game, right?
Yeah. I don't remember what part you're talking about because he said a few things.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
So New England loses that game. They were all tight ends, no receivers. They had a game plan. This is what the Patriots do. Giants are the first team in NFL history to score three touchdowns and to give up 0 touchdowns on defense and lose the game. So we are setting records. We're putting names in the record book. The Giants are the best team ever. Anyways, Washington beats us 21-18. We lose our kicker on the kickoff. Malik Neighbors accounted for like 68% of all targets by Daniel Jones. He got the ball a ton, had 127 yards at touchdown. So that was pretty sick. What are your thoughts on Jaden Daniels? Is he just need time to get acclimated to NFL speed, or is he struggling?
No, I think he looks fine.
What rookie looks any better?
Yeah, none of them look good.
Yeah.
Did you know that Joe Milton is tied for most touchdowns by a rookie this year?
What?
Because all rookies have 0 passing
Oh,
touchdowns.
gotcha. Okay. Fair.
Ding, ding,
That-
ding. I was like, what the hell are you
pathetic.
talking about?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit you talking about?
I must have missed that play.
All right, Chargers, Carolina, the obvious game of the year, even though Brian was too much of a pussy to bet on it.
I know.
They stopped the Carolina Panthers 26-3. They ran the ball
So much.
44 times. You know what? Everyone's like J.K. Dobbins. He had 17 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. You know who had more carries? Gus
Gus the
Edwards.
Bus.
18 carries. They are going to do this all year. They're going to take the game out of Justin Herbert's hands, and they're going to run the ball down everyone's throat.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
not
if we're
to
gonna
take
run
the
down
ball.
everybody's throat. We're trying to set up
They're
the
gonna-
play action, bro. We're trying to make
Yeah.
people commit so much that they say, "Damn, they're gonna run the ball. We have to take the run away so we can set up the play action, right?"
Yeah, it's because the
Um,
Chargers don't have the playmakers on the wide receivers.
But
Well,
we talked
Quentin
about this
Johnson
already.
scored twice, but he wide open in the end zone for those
But we
players.
talked about that though. We don't have any receivers.
Yeah,
This is what he's going to do. The first year is going to be like this for Harbaugh. He's going to get better receivers in there, and then when he does, then it's going to get back to his normal. He has his quarterback. He doesn't want to hurt his quarterback. You can't complain that you don't like what you see because we're 2-0. So he's
exactly.
going to be like,
Yeah.
we're 2-0. We're winning. So shut up. That's what he's going to
Yeah.
tell you. If you're a Chargers fan,
Big news here. Bryce Young has another terrible game. He goes 18 for 26, 84 yards and an interception. Week 1, he was the most pressured quarterback. So everyone was chalking it up to offensive line. This week, he was the most protected quarterback, and he still underperformed, therefore leading to them benching Bryce Young.
it's over for him.
So he
Yeah.
is no longer the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And
I think Darwin does way better.
Yep.
Andy Dalton at least has been around, and
He's
he's
gonna
going
get
to give you a chance.
Yes. He's going to get the ball out quicker. I think they got playmakers around. I don't think it's anything special, but it's not like you have slouches. You still Deontay Johnson. You have Adam
Deontay's
Thielen,
going to
you
have a
got
game.
Leggett,
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
Thielen.
So you got
Thielen's
guys
still
there that you get the ball. I just think Bryce is just struggling just to get the ball out of his hand. I just think he has lost confidence. I think he's really small. He needs a system that fits him, but I don't know what system fits him. I don't think what Carolina's doing, they have to move the pocket around, right? I think with short guys, you have somebody like Kyler who is fast though, so he can move around the pocket and he's good at throwing to spots. I don't think Bryce is not his forte. He's not good at moving around. They have to move the pocket for him. But even then, when you think about what he did at Alabama, it's all quick stuff. Or all right, cool. I see the coverage, hike the ball, 3 steps, let it go. You know what I mean? So it's going to struggle for sure. I think he might be over for him.
I think so too, unfortunately. Maybe the Giants will trade for him.
He
Can't
should
be
go
any worse.
He should go be the backup at Baltimore for a year.
No.
Why not?
No,
Because it doesn't fit the system.
he can't run.
He can't do no running. That's his issue. If he could run, then he would be more versatile. But he runs because he's like, oh my gosh, it's pressure. He doesn't run because it's like, oh yeah, that's part of my game.
He
You know
needs to
what
go to
I
Miami. He'd be the backup in Miami.
He'd be the
Honestly-
starter right away.
Honestly,
Yeah.
what other quarterback that is his size can't move around? I don't know if there's any. Every quarterback his size can move around a little bit.
That's weird.
And he's black, so it's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like you are supposed to be able to run. Listen. I'm saying that. Yes, Kenneth Harper is saying that. Yes. Like you're supposed to be able to run. Like if anything we learn from a young age is like how to race. So you tell me like if you tell me you weren't outside in California racing, you wasn't racing nobody, bro. You just in the house. Your dad just say, hey, you don't need to run. You can throw the ball.
Hey, I'm gonna go through some of these speedway.
Ryan's like, yeah, let's move past that.
Cleveland beats Jacksonville 18-13. The Browns are a boring team to watch. Jacksonville's just as boring. I will say this: Kenny will love it. Brian Thomas Jr. is him. So
Timothy.
give him more time. He's going to be great. Baltimore chokes away another game and loses to the Las Vegas Raiders 26.
Lost my Survivor Bowl.
The other thing I'll say is Devontae Adams was amazing in the fourth quarter. He waited until right at the end of the game to have all his stats. He had 110 yards. He ended up scoring a touchdown, I think. And then Brock Bowers. I call it here right now. I think Brock Bowers is going to be the number 1 tight end in fantasy this year.
Wow.
With the way they're using him. If you play in any kind of PPR league, he hasn't scored a touchdown yet. He's like the number 1 tight end or number 2. He's consistent, and they target him a lot.
I think
you don't go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think he is at least definitely the next great tight end that this league will see.
Yeah, I think
he's basically replacing what Travis Kelce has been in the last few years. That's where he's going to be in the names that we mentioned with.
I think that's a little too early, but I think he has the talent to do that for sure.
Just the way he runs, he looks like what Gronk looked like when he first came out, like just a friggin', he's just a beast. I'm telling you, he's gonna be one of the greats.
Yep.
I get it though.
Kyler Murray gets a perfect passer rating and wins. They decide that Marvin Harrison is on the team, but he can only play in the first quarter. He has 4 catches, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and then he's done for the day. He doesn't do anything for the rest of the game, but he doesn't need to because they win 41-10 against the Rams. The Rams literally are decimated. They lose Cooper Kupp halfway through the game with an ankle injury. He's now on IR or close to going on IR, more than likely going on IR, except, of course, if you have him on your fantasy team, he's doubtful, so you can't put him on IR because the NFL is stupid. Anyways, they look terrible, and it sucks for Stafford because he's only got a year or 2 left, and he's like losing all his playmakers to be able to go for that one last push. Do you have more stuff? Do you have stuff?
Nope. I just wanted to address Logan's comment.
Go ahead. Offensive line. Logan says illegal formations. Let's talk about the illegal formations with offensive linemen. Week 1, they called 3 penalties against the Baltimore, sending a message. Then they dramatically go away.
Yeah. So, I mean, this has been every year the NFL has a focus, and this year their focus is on offensive linemen actually lining up on the line, because in years past they've been, as you'll see, the tackles are a lot further back than the guards and the center. So they're trying to get it more within a yard like it's supposed to be versus how they're lining up, how they had been lining up. So,
and the reason the tackles do that is only during pass protection so that they can kick back faster and they don't have someone in their face.
Yep. So,
but they were supposed to be emphasizing hip drop tackles that are now illegal, but apparently that's no longer a thing. Joe Mixon actually got injured on the hip drop tackle that was not called the hip drop tackles.
They haven't called any yet this year.
They haven't called 0. Yeah.
There
have been tackles that are like that.
The other thing that I want them to address, I'm not sure if they've actually focused on it yet, is the tackles moving early. Most of the tackles,
they'll always kick early.
They always kick before the snap. I mean, that's technically false start. I mean, but everybody's doing it, so it's like you got to enforce it. Otherwise, they're just going to keep doing it. So, but it pisses you off when it's against you, and you're like, "What the hell? The guy moved," And if it's a close game, you just want it to be fair. So, they need to address that. Anyways, keep going.
Pittsburgh wins in a boring game against Denver 13-6. Whoop-de-doo. Justin Fields is still the starter. I'm pretty sure they say as long as they keep winning, I think he's probably going to remain the starter even when Russell Wilson becomes healthy.
Why not? They haven't invested any money.
Yep.
So
that's right. You're right. Kansas City wins in a comeback game against Cincinnati 26-25. Burrow actually looked like he was himself a little bit. He threw 2 touchdowns in this game. He could only find eyes for whoever was playing the tight end position, but that was apparently a scheme of theirs during this game. Jamar Chase has not really been looked at. He's visibly getting frustrated out there. He almost got a fight with a referee over because I think he thought it was a horse collar or a hip drop tackle or something. He was essentially yelling at him, right?
Yeah, he got a personal foul for it too, or misconduct penalty of some sort. He got a 15-yard penalty because he was using language towards the official that was very inappropriate, apparently.
Sorry, our Instagram stops after an hour.
Sick.
Whatever, YOLO. And then I guess I could re-add it, but whatever.
It's good. You want to watch the rest of it? Join the YouTube.
Yeah, join the YouTube. My bad, Instagram. I was trying something new today. Anyways, Pacheco breaks his fibula or fractures his fibula. Is that what he did? But he's on IR. He's probably going to miss like 6 to 8 weeks. That sucks because Pacheco.
6 to 8. I thought it said only like 4.
I mean, 4 weeks is IR, but
yeah, 6 to 8. I mean, he's lucky he only fractured it, and it's not a break.
It's pretty much same thing.
Well, no, this didn't require surgery. Like he didn't have to have like a pin put in it and all that. It's just they just stabilize it and let it heal. That's why it's only 6 to 8 weeks. Otherwise, you'd be out for the year.
Yep, that sucks. But you know, when you run that hard against the pavement,
the ground wins. Fatality.
Everyone's rushing for Carson Steele.
Yep.
He's gonna be their goal line back, but like I just for some reason I'm thinking once Perine hasn't done much, but I think once he starts figuring out the offense, he will probably be the guy.
They're not giving it to Carson Steele. I don't care how much people think that's gonna happen. It's not happening.
Carson Steele will have the most carries, and he'll get the goal line touches, and that's what's most important to me when I'm running back in fantasy.
But if he's not efficient on those carries, then Andy Reid's going to be like, I will run the ball just to run the ball. I'm going to be doing these end arounds.
I agree with you.
Like Ryan showed last year when he had the touches, right? When Mixon got hurt and he had the touches, he was eating. He is way better than Carson Steele.
When was he eating?
He played well for fantasy.
Yeah,
but it was mostly through the air. He was a pass catcher.
He was air, but he was getting touches though. He was making use of his touches to where they questioned Mixon when he came back. Like, should we? Because Mixon didn't look as good.
Yeah, well, they're missing Mixon now, so
they definitely do.
Can't make your show.
But you know what? Mixon didn't look that great in Cincinnati, but he looks great. I think the running scheme that the Bengals do is just not. It's not good. I don't know if it's like the way they block or the way they run out of that shotgun formation. Like they don't do that well.
Mixon is a power runner, right?
Yeah.
He's not a zone guy. He's a gap guy, right? So if you see what they run down there, that's why Cam Akers works so well as well. You know, they run a lot of gap scheme blocks, things like that, and that's his style rather than outside zone and things like that.
All right. Well, I'll try and move on. We only got 2 more games left. The Houston Texans win 19-13 against the Chicago Bears. Caleb has had a rough. The under did hit. The Caleb's is having a rough go at it right now. Diggs came crashing down. He did not do great this week. This week was the Nico Collins week. He had 135 yards and a touchdown. Nico looked great. He looks like he's like a thick dude. He's like a big dude. He reminds me of like Anquan Bolden, but great. He's doing great at receiver.
Big comparison.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But Caleb is just needs time to get used to the NFL. I think he's eventually it's gonna click somewhere here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with what's his face? What rookie quarterback looks good, you know? So
well, the problem is Simon's right. His offensive line is doing terrible for him. So like you don't want him to turn into freaking seeing ghosts down there and like with the Carolina Panthers with Bryce Young, because he
definitely needs to see some success soon, though, right? Because at that point in time, you start getting doubt in your head where you're like, "Bro, I don't even give you time to make a throw," right? So then, when you do get time, you're so used to that clock going off in your head that you're not even stepping up and making the right throw anymore.
I mean, this is why, like, there's people that have defended what New England's doing because they knew they have a similar situation. Their offensive line is garbage, but they don't even have weapons. At least Caleb has weapons if he could have time to throw. But so there's the two different schools of thought on this of, do you let the guy sit for a little while and learn and not be exposed right away? Let the rest of the team get going and then insert him, or do you feed him to the wolves right away? I mean, I think you'll see different levels of success in both methods. It just depends on the player. So,
yeah. And the last shocker of them all is the Atlanta Falcons win, and they beat the Philadelphia Eagles 22-21. Saquon, the $12.5 million a year man, drops a 3rd and 4 or something like that to get the first down and ice the game. That's terrible. You know what, though? Since Saquon has come in the league, he leads the league in drops by a running back. He's always has that like concentration issue when it comes to catching, but he makes some sick catches. But then he has a little bit of the drop skis on the easy ones.
Why wouldn't they have just ran the ball?
They should have. They should have just ran the ball because the clock stopped and they left. They actually left like a minute and a half of time. It was poor clock. That's why a lot of Eagles fans were calling for Sirianni after this game because it was a blunder of clock management.
Sirianni should have been gone in the offseason. He is trash.
Yeah, I agree. But brutal loss. They'll get it right. The Eagles defense was supposed to get a lot better, and they have not. They were getting carved up on the ground by Bijan Robinson. He had 97 yards in the game. And they were getting torched in the air at the end of the game. They literally they were supposed to protect the sidelines because they had no timeouts. And the sidelines are wide open. Darnell Mooney catches 2 deep balls to get him down all the way down in the red zone. And then, boom, they just hit Drake London in the end zone to
bad coaching.
Ice the game. It was pretty bad. But you know what? The Eagles also, Kenny will like this, have 0 QB sacks by a defensive end so far this season.
Huh. What, didn't they sign a guy?
Yeah.
In free agency?
Bryce Huff. They
right.
could grab from the Jets to fulfill the role of Hassan Reddick, and he's doing diddly squat.
So maybe sometimes being a cheap ass isn't the right answer.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Maybe just pay the man, and you could have been fine.
And how's the Jets pressure right now? I'm just curious. For
Not
those
great
out there
either.
listening.
Not great either.
Maybe they should stop being cheap fucks too. I don't know. Just a suggestion. I don't know.
But don't worry, Kenny. We said it. You didn't have to say it. Hey, are we looking forward to any games this week? Anything crazy? But
I'm mad right now. The fucking Philadelphia Phillies just lost again. I just don't understand, bro. Like,
it's garbage, bro.
Third day in a row, bro. A walk off.
They're coasting.
Like, can I get a Nola was on the mound? Godly.
Yeah. No run support.
I just don't understand, bro. I'm tired of this one run bullshit. Just let my team get blown out.
That's right, Simon. Jets are gonna jet. That's why I've always said
Thursday night preview right here.
They're a loser franchise. They are a loser franchise. They ain't gonna win shit.
Brian and I, and maybe Kenny believes this too, but I think New England is currently +6 favorites in this game. Or
underdogs.
Underdogs. +6 underdogs. That's what I meant. I don't see how the Patriots lose by more than 6 points. I just don't see it.
No.
So I will probably take the Patriots with the points.
Yeah, I really like that bet.
And just call it a day.
I'm going to even probably sprinkle on money line. I think the Patriots have a good chance of winning. The Jets have not looked good at all. They've been terrible against the run, and that's all New England can do. And New England's defense, like you guys have seen, has been playing quite well. And if they actually play man-to-man defense, Christian Gonzalez, he is him, and he can play against the best receivers. If you look at his stats when he's man-to-man against some of the best talents in the league, he's held his own. So
Is Garrett Wilson really him though?
yes,
I don't know. I don't think
he
he's.
is.
I don't think he's that good.
Yeah,
I think he's good, but I don't think he's like
you
one
don't
of
think
the
he's like elite?
greats. Yeah, that
Okay.
that's
It's
what
not it, them, they. He's
Yeah.
definitely him.
He's pretty good.
He
I'll give
cooks,
him
bro.
that. Yeah, I mean,
Him and Aaron Rodgers are not on page
No.
right now, the same page.
imagine
but he
that. Don't play preseason. You know, kind of makes you start slow. It's
Mhm.
weird.
I don't know. I'm calling it into question. The flag's coming up. I'm a little worried about him. He needs to show up eventually.
I mean, when has he not shown up? Look at his stats. His first 2 years, they've been pretty good, and it's with garbage quarterbacks. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
I need to see it from him.
okay.
I don't think Justin Jefferson's playing with like anyone great.
No. Okay. What's your point? Like Garrett Wilson's had really good stats.
He had 4 touchdowns his rookie season and then 3 touchdowns last year.
Okay, the touchdowns are gonna be lower because that team couldn't score for shit.
And last year he was averaging 11 yards a catch. That's not like great. Like that's like, and the year before was 13 and a half. Like I just don't see it in him. I see him as a volume possession receiver that is decent. I just don't see him like.
Okay, is he
Justin
not an
Jefferson.
explosive guy? Maybe. Okay.
I would like to see those, like the elite receivers are up there at like 15 yards a catch. Until I see that.
He's a possession receiver though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, but I just don't think he's not the one.
I don't know about that, but
That's what I'm calling it now.
Whatever. I mean, it's
Calling my
whatever.
shot.
okay.
Is that it?
That's it. BK bets.
Hey, real quick, Kenny, I just want to get one little college bet in that I like for Friday night. I really like Syracuse to cover 8.5 at home, and I also like Nebraska to cover 8 at home. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't like Nebraska.
You don't like Nebraska at home?
No, I think it's a trap game.
You think it is?
Yeah, who has Nebraska played?
I mean,
Colorado.
yeah. I mean, Colorado don't have defense though.
Yeah, I'm saying like so. I think it's one of those games that 8 points is a weird line. Illinois plays good on defensively, and Illinois stopped a Kansas team, so I can see why you would take the. I would if I took anything, I'll play -6 if you did take Nebraska, but I like Illinois there. But I probably leave that game alone. Probably I don't know. It's probably that's like a TBA to be determined. You know what I mean? TBD. But I do like Syracuse. I push them down to 6.5 though. I like Syracuse there. I like the over for the San Jose State and Washington State game, and I kind of low key like San Jose State +12.
Oh yes. I don't think you need to push down Syracuse, and here's why. You got Stanford coming across the country. When West Coast teams visit East Coast, it usually affects them. I really think Syracuse covers that easy.
Yeah, I just don't care about the line. That's all.
Okay.
Like I'll push it down to save my ass a little bit there. But I just don't really like the line like that. But that's just a personal preference. But I can see what you mean though, coming across, being a little tired, being a little lazy. I can see that. I would say for my bets for the week, I got two teamers on Saturday that I think are smackers. I'm being better with my bets, I would say. I like Tulane money line versus Louisiana, and then I also like the over for the Cincinnati Houston game at 46.5. I think you can push it down a little bit, but if you just keep it at 46.5, you get +222 there. I think after we hit that parlay, or even if you don't, you could do something separate. I think you take Utah State versus Temple -6. Oh my God. I'm like fucking salivating at that line. -6 there. And I think also what you do is, Michigan playing at home versus USC, you bang that over. You bang that over. I don't think USC's defense is really that good. I think they can put up points. But you bang it over there, or if you're really feeling froggy, I would take USC -6. I think they can cover that. And you'll got plus 264 odds there, or you could take the over if you think that IG is going to do something versus that USC defense.
The line moved down to -5.5 now.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like if you take the 6, because it said you got 1/6, right? So, and then other than that, I'm going to say those for another day. I'll keep those in the back pocket. Those are the 2 teamers I got for you. If you want a little smackers, if you're doing your 100K.
I just want to remind everybody that Kenny, I don't think has gotten Temple right yet this year. So just be.
I haven't got Temple right.
Yeah, I feel like you've been on them a few times, and then they've.
No, I haven't. I said Oklahoma at the game. I said they might cover it. I didn't bet on them. I bet Oklahoma, and the only time I was wrong was last week. Actually, no, that was 2 weeks.
I remember you telling us the first week though. You're like,
I said they might cover because I said it's weird. No, I didn't. I say fuck on plus 28 versus no damn Oklahoma.
Yeah,
never said no plus 28. Get out of here.
We'll have to rewind the tape.
Never plus 28. Never. They were like 40. I said minus 48. I mean plus 48 probably. Anyway, that's what I got. What you got for NFL?
Well, it's probably a trap game, but I really like the Buccaneers to cover 6.5 against Broncos at home. Usually early in the season, teams going down to Florida, they don't do well, and plus the Broncos haven't been playing well. And then it's probably another trap game, but I like it. Saints -3 at home against the Eagles. Why not? The Eagles haven't looked great, and the Saints look like they can't be beat. So let's roll with it. Only 3 points.
That's a trap game for sure.
No.
Listen,
I think that the Saints are going to win by a touchdown.
Yeah. If you don't like that, let's see what else we got. Oh, here you go.
I like that a lot.
I like the Raiders Panthers over 40. I think they're going to get better quarterback play at Carolina, and they're going to put up some points. So I wouldn't want to pick a side on that because the Raiders haven't been good, and I could see the Panthers getting a sneaky win, even if it is in Vegas. But I think Andy Dalton's going to invigorate that offense a little bit. But yeah, that's. I mean, there's some others I like, but we're gonna keep that. You know, we have to follow us on DK.
What about the Raiders?
That's what I just talked about. No, I said the over in that game, 40. I don't want to pick a side. I think Andy Dalton improves that offense a lot. So I don't want to pick a side. I could see the Panthers winning that. The Raiders have not been good. Not good at all. I don't care if they came back on the Ravens. They haven't been playing well. Ravens gave that game up.
All right.
Well, too easy, man. As always, we appreciate the love and support, man. Follow us on the socials. Stay tuned for the things we got coming down the pipeline. We got a lot of sports coming down, so we're excited about that. You know, excited about hockey. Baseball's getting to playoff time. Football's kicking in full gear. College and NFL. You know, and basketball and college basketball is right around the corner, which things can get very, very interesting. So, as always, we appreciate the support. We'll see you guys next week. Good luck on your bets. Good luck on your fantasy matchups, and we'll see you. Peace.
Peace.